What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Rumpier Sports Hardwood show for some Monday night NBA action. We had 9 games. We're down to 8. The Nets and the Timberwolves got postponed, so we won't have to cover that one, but we will cover the other 8 games. And as always, this time of year, a lot of news. We got a lot of news revolving around this slate. We have a lot of news that we're still kind of waiting on. So we will definitely break it all down before we hop into the slate. As always, on Monday, joined by my 2 boys, TitleTown, BigT. TitleTown, how was your weekend? What's going on?
Yeah, it was I took a day off on Saturday from DFS. It was a nice pub crawl with my old college buddies. So it was nice to reset a little bit. Played at some MMA though, and man, that didn't go how I wanted to. So hey, it was nice to step away a little bit though. Yesterday came back, got some winners in NBA. And I like this little staggered start time. We were talking about pre-show a little bit. MLB locking at 7:05 Eastern, NBA 7:30 Eastern. It's a lot of sports going on, a lot of stuff, a lot of winners to pick. So excited to talk some hoops and then get to MLB right after.
How was the pub crawl? How many different establishments did you hit up?
Oh, there in the dozens, I think. I don't know. It was a long day for sure. Started early, ended late, but it was a good time.
Nice. And what do pub crawls look like nowadays? I mean, anything different like with the pandemic and all that crap?
No, I mean this is just like the old times. Nothing changed at all. I don't know. It depends on what city you go to, but this city was back to normal.
Were the ladies crawling into title sheets at the end of the night or what?
I mean, well, the ladies were out. We'll just say that.
That's all I'd say. That's good enough for me. Big T, what's going on, my friend?
What's going on? Yeah, another night. I like the half-hour time difference, like Title was saying. We'll do the NBA show, go pick some baseball winners, and then circle back and pick some hoops winners. So it's going to be a fun night. And I was looking at the schedule because, man, we were talking too, like, man, I can't wait for the playoffs because the last month is just tough with all the news and everything that's going to happen with guys sitting. And it looks like we got almost exactly 1 month left of the season, which is nice. It looks like the play-in tournament starts May 18th. So I always like the playoffs too, and I know Hoop does too, not just from the games, but DFS is just good then because you know the guys' minutes they're going to play. You can kind of make adjustments as the series goes on because, you know, maybe this team got blown out, so they need to run some random guy in there. And I like all that stuff. So I can't wait for 1 month from now when we get done with this NBA cycle.
Yeah, I mean, there is no like bigger of a grind than NBA last like few weeks in the regular season. It's a lot of news, a lot of stuff to stay on top of. I'm looking forward to the playoff now. I don't know. I'm sure you remember this because we talked about it a ton in the past, but I think it was like 3 seasons ago, maybe NBA playoffs. FanDuel, remember what they did with like the minimum price? They took it from 3,000 down to 1,500 for the bench guys.
I wish they always did that. Yeah,
seriously. Yeah, that was awesome. There was tons of strategy involved in it. Title, you were probably too young back then. I'm sure you weren't even playing DFS at that point.
But yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, no, the minimum salary on the bench guys was like 1,500. So like some of these dudes that in the playoffs were only going to get like 10 minutes of playing time were like in play. Like you could bank on guys getting like 6 or 7 fantasy points. They're a big edge because people still wouldn't play those guys. And I mean, there's certain guys because you know the rotations at that point in the playoffs. Me and Big T, I mean, loved it. I hope they bring something back like that because that was
they stopped doing it though. It was annoying. I think they even stopped that same year, didn't they? Like they did it for a while and then they just I don't know.
Yeah, I think they did it for like the first couple rounds and then stopped for some reason. But it made sense. I'd like to see him do that more like regular season too. Like some of these dudes that are like out of play at 3K, take them down to 1,500. And you know, if they're going to play 10 minutes, you could potentially consider them.
I love it. I mean, it should always be. I mean, that's what we've all said, but every single player on every team should be at a price you can at least consider them in theory. And during the playoffs, like, you know, the rotation, so it should be somewhat easy. I mean, you risk the fact maybe someone sits out during the season and stuff, and then it really gets jacked up. But if you know the rotations, I mean, if it's some guy you know is not going to play, price them at freaking 500 or something to where you could even take a 0. Yep. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I missed the FanDuel drop a score too. I know I'm not old enough for the 1,500 stuff in the playoffs, but even the drop a score, 2 years ago, I think it was, it just adds a whole new dimension for game theory, and it differentiates yourself from different sites and stuff. And that was back when there wasn't late swap. So if someone did get injured, at least you weren't dead and all that. There's a lot of creative ways to go. And that's why Super Draft is a lot of fun too. And you see people crushing over there. It's just a different dimension on different sites. So I like seeing that. I just remember when the price differences that won an MLB one day, 2000s, obviously the min price, and they threw Chris Davis down there at 500 when he was like 0 for 50 or something, just a slap in the face. But you can take a zero at that.
They should do that every night for one dude, like just some dude that sucks, just throw him in there like super cheap, just for the game theory part of it.
Yeah,
I agree though with what you said, Big T. Like every active player should have a price point where you could, potentially at least consider them. The minimum salary as it stands right now, there's just guys you can't even consider playing. So I'd like to see something more innovative.
Why does it have to be like $3K and $3,500? Why is that like the bare minimum? Like, why can't they go cheaper?
Yeah, I'd like to see stuff like that. And like Title said about Super Draft, speaking of Super Draft, we have that partnership, freshly launched partnership with Super Draft. If you go over there, use the promo code RUNPURE, you get up to $100 match on your deposit. We have a section in the core plays part of our website that has, a couple cores for Super Draft. So head on over to Super Draft, use that promo code RUNPURE to get $100 match on your first deposit over there. We had a couple wins over the weekend. We're going to highlight some different sports. We had an EPL win, soccer. I'm not familiar with the soccer. I don't play much DFS soccer. I know Big T's dabble a little bit, but our boy Score with D took down 2.7K. Our boy Jaime runs a soccer product here. He is on top of it for every slate. Phenomenal content. Score with D. Use that to ship 2.7K. And then our boy Eric G, MLB, $5,000 win. Congratulations to Eric G. If you want to get a shout out here on this segment of the show, make sure, one, to have our logo up on your avatar for FanDuel, DraftKings, Super Draft, whatever site you play on. Then tag us with your wins. Say, hey, Run Pure Sports, I took down X amount of dollars. We'll shout you out in this segment of the show. So make sure to get the avatar and then also tag us on your wins, and we'll shout you out on this segment of the show. Your boy had a big PGA sweat this week, and Big T, you and I talked about it going into Sunday. I was third in the Millie Maker. I sent Big T a text, talked on the phone. I said, Big T, I said, do me a favor. Like you and Bryson have this connection. I said, Big T, I need a big round from Bryson. Round 4 of the Masters. If Bryson has a big round, your boy's going to be live to win the Millie. Apparently Bryson doesn't like the Hoopster as much as he likes Big T 44.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't come through. He tried. He hit the ball well. And, yeah, I mean, you definitely had a shot if he came through. I mean, he was there, just couldn't get the putter going.
Yeah.
And these freaking donkeys in there, like, you get it in bad with the wager when friggin' Snyder and Bobby Gomes are in here circle jerking each other. So their little Morikawa, their first win over Bryce, they're so happy. Like, you get it in bad when you're that happy to win 1 week. I mean, boys, act like you've won before. We've already won multiple weeks. Tell them, act like you've been there before.
That's what I always say. I mean, hey, if you're going to celebrate in victory lap every week, then yeah, I mean, I do have to agree with you on that. I don't know much about golf either, but you can't. I mean, yeah, been there, done that, then move on with it.
I mean, this is like the 4th or 5th week they played. The first time he beats them, they're in here full circle. This is like the 3rd straight show I've seen them in here circle jerking each other. They're so happy.
Hey, you got it.
What's going on? I checked out the chat and I just see Morikawa's name like over and over.
Yeah,
and over.
I mean, they are so freaking happy to get that W.
Yeah.
Got to give back to the fish. Keep them reeled in.
Yeah, we talked about the soccer win, and our boy Brandon McNear posted in the chat. One of our members just took down first in the 1K in EPL today. I think it just basically finished up not too long ago. So congratulations to whoever that was, took down the 1K in EPL. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. The content has been on fire, and we're going to continue to produce more winners. If you're not a member, head on over to runpuresports.com. We have that promo going right now where if you sign up for a monthly package that includes DFS, and bets, you get the bets portion for free for the first month. That promo code is GETBETS. You have to have a monthly subscription, DFS and bets combo pack. Use that promo code GETBETS. Gets you the bets portion for free. We're ready to hop into this, boys?
I mean, people are just laughing me left and right. The heater might be over, boys. First title destroyed me, and then these guys finally get a W, and even Hector's in there. I finally had to buy him lunch. We've had a lunch bet in MMA like 12 straight weeks. He was 0-11 going into this week, and he finally got a W, and he's even victory lapping me now. It is tough times here for Bryson. Let us down, cost Hoop a milli. Freaking everyone's victory lap. It's tough times. The heater might be over, boys. We got tough times. We got to find winners tonight.
Maybe take some time off from DFS. Save yourself some money. You know?
Man, I might have to unregister. It is a tough scene right now for me.
I told you right when the heater was going to end. Do you remember?
When I bet on Meg Goad?
Yep. That's when you knew.
That was
I was right there with your title. That was shocking. That was an easy.
Ooh.
What did we bet on that? $200? It was 100 or 2. You ended up getting it back, but you the one-on-one matchup, you fired on your boy Mangone right away. And Rubio ended it rather quickly.
Rubio had so much energy too. It was such a bad bet. Yeah. Oh man.
Woo. We did call that though, title. We said that was the end of the hot streak.
Oh, I was like, yeah, right when if you lose like that, the heater's going down a little bit. And hey, that gave me an edge going into our game too. Big T was destroyed right after that bet.
Yeah. Our theory was wrong though, because I think that was the night that Big T pulled up basketball and made a team in like 15 minutes.
It's just like the fire though. The fire doesn't just instantly go out. Like it slowly starts to go. Like there was no more wood on the fire. It was still flickering though. And then that next day, title just put it completely out, and then it was over. Hasn't been the same since.
Yeah. Oh, fun times.
So we're going to get it going again, though. Let's start a new fire.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start it tonight with this NBA slate. Let's get into it. We got the 76ers. We got the Mavericks, 218.5.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Chris Myers in the chat. Breaking news. Big T retires from DFS and Workbench. I didn't say anything about a cold streak on the bench. So, I had nothing to do with the heater. So, easy now, Chris Myers. Take a step back before we dive in here.
Yeah, you can correlate the Workbench and DFS success to an extent, but or one thing, if you got your household right, that Workbench is always going to be on fire.
Yeah, even when you're on a cold streak in a slump, the bench is still active. That's
Big T and myself. We're section. Yeah. Me and Big T, we're a little bit older than Title. We got the kids and stuff. Before you settle down, Title, just make sure you get yourself in a situation where you know that Workbench is going to be active.
Oh, yeah, I will never make that mistake. There's talking to Rubio, making these picnics to get on the bet. Yeah.
Don't ever.
That's the worst part about my bet. I lost to a dude that freaking goes on picnics. That's when you know the heater's over. Dude was going on picnics with a picnic basket. God, Corey Fuller said Title pissed on the fire. He did. He pissed right on the fire. It's bullcrap.
Yeah,
act like you've been there. Big T will get his rematch. I hope. JSU. I heard JSU's talking a little. I'll definitely get a part of that one too. Yeah, we'll get some more.
A lot of time to make this stuff happen. Title, and you took care of business.
Go and get his rematch is the question. Is he going to come for Rubio?
I don't think Mangone's going to be willing to get back on the court.
He needs the government. You can't just tap out. Rocky got destroyed in the first fight. You can't just tap out. You got to get back on the horse.
Well, we'll give him the opportunity. We'll certainly give him the opportunity to redeem himself and get back out there. Maybe he'll hit the gym for a little while and surprise us. I know he's played sports in the past. He could have some athletic ability buried in there. We'll give him the chance to bounce back. We certainly will.
Always.
I doubt we see it though.
Rematch.
Yeah, you never know. Big T. He's vowed to get back in shape and go round 2 with Title.
I've made comments though. I don't know if I have enough motivation to do it because I know I need to be in shape before the rematch because I can't go 0-2. So I either have to retire or I got to get in a little bit better shape.
Dust off that Peloton. Dust off that Peloton. Hit up Randone. Get on the Randone's diet. We'll be all set.
Oh,
Randone will get you lined up, man. You'll be eating those green booger smoothies, and you'll be ready for action on the court.
yeah.
Someone in chat goes out. We want to see Run Pure versus RG. I mean, I don't know anything. I'm not gonna get involved in that, but I heard Big T was the best player at RG. Man,
five game title. I'm about to get title's about to get me in this rematch in a hurry. The 5-on-5 with unlimited dribbles is a different world than we were on.
Yeah,
like stop. We're about to get a rematch quickly here.
Hey, that's what I want. I just got to do a little more talking.
You should have built the mojo up because we'll call out RG. We'll come for him.
Well, that's what I mean. I was just getting to the point where, I mean, I don't think that'd be very close.
Light work.
Yeah. Sorry.
We could end it quickly. We could hire some of those knee house boys that were in the backyard, Duncan and those guys. There's some athletic bodies.
Title took my freaking brother down after me. He said, "Come on out here," and he took him down too. He put the whole family to pasture.
Tough weekend for your brother. He got owned in the pits too by his big brother.
Oh, that was I wish we had film of that cornhole, but that chest bump after the game, that was electric.
That chest bump, that felt good, man.
That was electric out there against the fans and everything.
Yeah,
if we could play that video right now on this stream, like the chat would go nuts.
Oh, that was some excitement out there. I mean, we had the crowd behind us. I mean, took it down. It's getting a little chilly. Body to body heat transmission between me and Big T. I mean, it felt good.
Full extension in the middle.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was a good feeling, I'll tell you that much. All right, let's get into this. We got 76ers. We got the Mavericks, 218.5 total. Philadelphia favored by 3 in this game. 76ers, I mean, it's a team we've talked about a ton, basically at full strength, and it's gotten to the point where they're a tough team to target for DFS purposes when they're at full strength. Embiid was a guy we were targeting a lot early on in the season. To me, it seems like they're going to kind of coast. This team's looking to coast a little bit into the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be pushing guys like Embiid in terms of the minutes. Ben Simmons has been an absolute disaster from a fantasy perspective. That was kind of predicted. I mean, I just don't think very good at basketball, but the price tag on FanDuel is all the way down to 7.2K. I think that's a price tag where we can consider him. He has a lot of outs still. I mean, he can get steals, he can get blocks, assists, he can contribute across the board. So I think he's interesting on FanDuel. But outside of that, I'm not going to have much exposure to 76ers. On the Mavericks side, talked about it last time we were on the show, Big T. I mean, you've kind of called it with Luka. I mean, the upside. I mean, what has happened? 41, 50, 42, 49, 46, 44, 45, 42. He's broken 50 fantasy points one time in his last 8 games. He looks kind of slow out there. I don't know. Like it's a tough guy to look to for DFS at this point. The secondary pieces on the Mavericks are not that appealing either. Porzingis is still questionable to play. Kleba is probable. Porzingis sits. Yeah, maybe we can take a look at some of these secondary guys for the Mavericks. But as it stands now, for me, the only person I'm really considering in this game would be Ben Simmons, and that would just be on FanDuel because of his decreased price tag. Big T, I'm going to throw it to you. What are your thoughts here on the 76ers Mavericks game?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. I mean, Luka just hasn't shown it. And the best part about Luka is everyone just plays him because his projection is still high. So it's one of those things where I've said this all year. We've done these shows 5 days a week, the whole season. If a dude is projected for 54 or 55 and they haven't got that in the last 15 games, I don't understand the projection. The projection is supposed to be the middle ground. As far as I know, you guys are smarter cash players than me. If a projection is supposed to be the middle ground, right? That's not the feeling. Correct. If a dude hasn't hit 55, how is he projected for 55? I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense to me. And basically, every time we've talked about this, they don't end up getting there. I mean, obviously, Luka could get there, but he's always too high owned for what he gives you. Into the season, I keep saying this, but the stars, I'm worried about all of the veteran stars the last month because why are they going to push them upwards of minutes going into that playoff stretch? I just don't see it. Ben Simmons might be cheap, but he's another one wow, has he been bad? Woo! I mean, you look at him, 7,200 might just be the right price. I mean, you look at him, 21. This is even DK points. I'm not even looking at FanDuel, so this is probably higher scoring even. 21, 39, 31, 25, 20. I mean, half his games are in the 20s. It is shameful how bad. And Embiid was probably out most of those games too, or some of those games. So, I mean, if you can't shoot the basketball, same thing that Giannis runs into issues with, and Giannis is way better than Ben Simmons. If you cannot shoot the ball at all, you're going to have bad games where you just can't do it. You can't just live at the rim in the NBA. I mean, if people try at all, they're gonna stop you. So sign me out for this game. It's the early game too. Maybe if like Porzingis is out, you can go to some of these scrub pieces. But for me, I'd rather just stay away.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the most appealing spot. I think the point you bring up about the stars is just very important. I mean, in this day and age, regular season, I mean, it's never really been all that important, but every single year it seems to trend more in the direction where these teams, they just don't give a shit about the regular season, especially these last 3 to 4 weeks. It makes it tough because in DFS, you really want to roster the superstars because their upside is so high. But if the minutes are kind of capped, it really limits that upside that we're kind of searching for. TitleTown, are you seeing this one any differently, the 76ers Mavericks game?
No, I'm pretty much in the same boat as you. The one that stands out most, Ben Simmons on FanDuel, but that would only be for cash games for me. I mean, tournaments, like you guys said, he just hasn't shown upside in this matchup. So cash, he's 7,200. I don't know the last time we've ever seen Ben Simmons that low. So definitely cash playable. Other than that, if Porzingis is out, Luka definitely is going to be in play again in cash games. I know BigT and other people. I mean, it's scary to still roster him in tournaments just because he's been that bad, but he'll definitely be in cash consideration if Porzingis is out. So much more usage. And then guys like if Boban got the start or Powell or something, it's the first game. We'll get the news, but those guys will get a little boost, but not the best game. I agree.
God, I love that you brought up Boban because I didn't get a chance to victory lap freaking Hoop after we had our argument like a week ago. I said he has no floor, and him and K. Fallick were stroking each other. So, you don't think Boban? How many minutes you think he got that night, Title?
0.
Big donut. I got to take the victory lap on Hoop. Thanks for bringing
Okay.
Back, baby. Yes.
I'm willing to take my L. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm clearly willing to take the L when needed. But if you're recommending Boban, you need him to start.
You guys said he had to start though. His floor, they had no one to guard Gobert.
As soon as he's not starting, it's over. That was okay. I'll take a half L. Okay, I'm not taking the full L.
Anything to get the heater commenced here. It's beautiful.
I'll take a lowercase L. Does that work? Not the uppercase.
You want to take? I'll take it because I need an L today. I need a W. Get me back on the horse.
I'll take the lowercase L, not the uppercase L. If you're playing Boban, you need him to freaking start. As soon as he's not announced the starter, it's over.
Wait, I forgot all about it till Title reminded me.
That's like a minor thing. I mean, there's way better things you can nail my ass on. I mean, that's
we fought a good fight about that one. You guys were tag teaming me, both of you guys. Look, K. Fallick wants to come on the show now because he's so sad about that L.
Yeah, bring him on. Bring him on here. Get him.
I mean, he was even more assertive than you, though. He was like, oh, he's so safe to play 28 minutes, and who's going to guard Gobert? And then you looked at me and you said, "You're not serious, Big T. Come on, Big T." I wish Simon could play that tape right now.
Who was your guy, though? I forgot who.
I have no idea. I mean,
I thought you were saying you were playing this guy over Boban. I can't remember who it was. Though.
I can't remember either. I bet he outscored Boban though.
Well, as long as he got in the game, I mean, he was a better play. Whoever
I
it was.
No idea who I played. I'm sure.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter because you're probably winning. I mean, as long as
who did I say to play over Boban? Someone will remember.
Yeah, as long as your guy saw the court, you won that argument. So congratulations.
I mean, if you suck though, I won't feel as good about my W. I have no idea who it was. I can't.
You might not even. I thought you recommended some. Maybe
no, I did. I said some center that was cheap. I can't remember.
Someone will remember here in this show.
Yeah, Joe Con. Big T does deserve a victory lap. I remember that show. Thank you, Joe Con.
I remember that.
Stewart. It sounds like Isaiah Stewart. Was that sound right?
Oh, Isaiah Stewart. No, I didn't say Isaiah. Did I?
No. K. Fallick says he remembers, but he's not saying. So I'm assuming that person must be
Stewart. All the chat.
We're saying Stewart. They're saying Stewart, and Stewart must have had a good game. All right, whatever. We spoke Big T enough on the show. He doesn't get to take victory laps.
Big T's had a tough start to the show, though. Everyone's victory lap. I'm not used to this. I'm in the.
You got to go. You were on the offensive for the last 2 months. All right, now you got to go on the defensive a little bit.
No, Felix. It definitely was not Tony Bradley. Stop. I've never recommended Tony Bradley.
He had some nice games at some point.
JaVale McGee. I might have got 0 too if it was JaVale McGee.
All right, Lakers, Knicks. 205.5 total. Oh my, you don't see them that low in this day and age. Knicks favored by 2 in this game. This is not the best spot for DFS purposes. The Knicks early on in the season, a team that we were targeting a bunch because their starters were playing like 38, 39, 40 minutes a game. Not necessarily the case anymore. The minutes are down for these starters. They're much more deep than they were earlier on in the season. On the Lakers side, we're waiting for quite a bit of news here. Kuzma's questionable, Gasol's questionable, and Wesley Matthews questionable, along with obviously LeBron and Anthony Davis both being out. The name that kind of stands out on the Lakers side is Andre Drummond. The minutes have not necessarily been there the first 2 games here, 26, about 27, and then 22. That was a blowout. But the production has been 38, 37 fantasy points. I think he's a guy to consider tonight. Would get another boost, obviously, if those guys are out. Minor boost. Those aren't huge names, but if a guy like Kuzma's out, I think it's definitely a boost to him. Schroeder, somewhat interesting, I think, on DK, 6.7K. On the Knicks side, the only name I'd probably consider would be Julius Randle, and that would be in tournaments. Let me see. What's Elf Payton been doing lately? Elf, oh man, he's not even playing. 21, 15, 17 minutes. Wow, okay.
Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose took over his role and not getting it back.
He's got too many dudes now. So it would be Randle in tournaments on the Knicks side. I think Drummond's obviously a pretty solid play, and then Schroeder maybe on DK, but we kind of need to wait and see if those guys are in or out on the Lakers side. Title, throw it to you. Thoughts here on this Lakers Knicks game?
Yeah, 205.5 total. Definitely not too much interest in this game. Drummond and Schroeder are the only ones I would play on either side. I do like Schroeder's price more on DraftKings, but point guard isn't very good on FanDuel. Like, would you rather play Schroeder or would you rather play Ben Simmons? I don't know. And Schroeder's even a little cheaper. He has more upside. Last game he only played 20 minutes because he got hurt and then ejected, but he had 27. He was lighting up the Nets, playing really well. Schroeder has upside, so I'd probably like Schroeder over Ben Simmons in tournaments. I know I would. I think he's in play on both sites. Drummond's in play on both sites. We know his ceiling. The slate isn't going to be a slate where 400 place is going to be first place today. Like, the pricing is pretty good. There isn't teams like yesterday with the Cavs that have 5 injuries, and we can just load up on all of them. So it's going to be a lower scoring slate, I think. And Schroeder, Drummond, I think they're in play. I'm not going to anyone on the Knicks, though.
Big T, thoughts here?
No, I agree, basically. The Knicks are always a team I'm not going to play. They have so many dudes. So how many games are on this slate? 10? How many did you say? 8? Yeah, an 8-game slate. Tons of dudes to play. Like, I can't play these Knicks guys. They got so many guys now. Definitely trying to stay away from that. I think Drummond, though, and Schroeder, I agree with Title's points about Schroeder. Like, I'm definitely playing Schroeder over Simmons because I at least know he does have a ceiling in there somewhere. I don't love the matchup, but, I could play Schroeder. Definitely could play Schroeder. And Drummond – he could have had a monster game last game if it wasn't for a blowout. I know it was versus Brooklyn. We always pick on Brooklyn, so it was a good matchup, much better than this matchup. But, he could have really gone off. He didn't play, though. I know because I had him, and he got no run from, like, the middle of the third on because of the blowout. So he would have been in the 50s or 60s. So I like Drummond a ton, and these are the only 2 early games, so – with baseball at 7, these are things you think about when you play every day. Maybe I play Drummond and just treat NBA like an 8 o'clock lock, focus on baseball, and then shift over to basketball and get it going. Sounds like something easy, but it helps a lot when you're playing both sports every day. So definitely Drummond, definitely Schroeder on
you might be able to extend that to 9 p.m. Eastern because there's only one 8 p.m. Eastern game, and it is the Spurs and the Magic. You get yourself an extra hour. 217.5 total. Spurs favored by 7 in this game. And I mean, we've talked about the Spurs all season long, and our points have been pretty consistent all season long. It's just a tough team to play in DFS. I mean, they need multiple guys out before you can really consider these guys. And the K-Falix charts typically back that up. You know, when they have guys out, he likes his Spurs chart. And they just don't have those guys out today. I mean, they are going to use as many guys. Pop will use as many guys as he possibly can. That is not good for DFS. I think this team, for the most part, is a complete fade. The only guy I would potentially consider would maybe be Derek White on FanDuel. Like Title said, that position, point guard position, is relatively weak. On the Magic side, just not a good team for DFS either. I mean, Wendell Carter had those big games when he first came over. Well, those have slowed down. The minutes have kind of gone away, and the production has gone away as well. Maybe take a tournament flyer on him. Terrence Ross, I mean, you know, when he's out there, he'll be chucking. I think tournament option. The one guy, though, that I think is somewhat interesting, Mo Bamba, starting to get pretty consistent run, 24 minutes, 22, 21. That's not a ton, but he's a guy that doesn't need to be out there a ton. 37 fantasy points, 30 fantasy points, 31 fantasy points his last 3 games. Have to imagine he continues to get this decent run, and the production has been off the charts. So I think he's an interesting play, more so on DK. He's only 4.3K there. Big T, we'll stick with you. I mean, any interest here in this game?
Yeah, I mean, you basically said it. I mean, one guy I'm done with is Terrence Ross. Like, I keep trying to make him happen because I know he's a gunner, but they got too many dudes and too many young guys that they want to get minutes to. He's just not going to see that ceiling minutes-wise. Maybe he gets to 30 here and there, but I don't know. I keep trying to make him happen because of the price, and they got no guards, but it's just killing me. I'm done playing with him. Mo Bamba, though, you have to have some interest in him. I mean, he's 4,300, 3 straight games in the 30s, and you know he's going to try to get some run. I mean, if he gets 25 minutes, he should be able to crush that price tag. He's a young dude. He's the guy they should try to get minutes to, all these young guys, like we always say. Definitely can play him. You just got that issue where he's a center, and do you really want to use the spot on him? I mean, we just talked about Drummond. You only get one on FanDuel, 2 on DK that you can play. So do you really want to use a spot on Mo Bamba? Maybe I just treat it like a 9 o'clock lock, like you said. But Mo Bamba is definitely in play for me. It's just a matter of if I want to go there.
Yep. I didn't even mention it yet, though. But guys, make sure you hit that like button. Got about 660 people watching, 190 likes. That's not going to do it. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Helps us to continue to bring you guys these shows for free on a daily basis. Like, subscribe, helps us out a ton. Title, thoughts here on this Spurs Magic game?
Yeah, I like this game a little more than you guys do, it sounds like. I like Mo Bamba on DraftKings for sure, his price tag. I mean, but like you guys were saying, I mean, you guys talked about it last week, I think. Sid is so tilting what Steve Clifford's doing with his team. Like yesterday in the blowout for Mo Bamba, I mean, they were getting killed. And Wendell Carter still closed the game and came back in with like 5 minutes left. 20 minutes for Mo Bamba. He had over 20 real points. Like he was the only one that could score on the team too. I'm not expecting 25 minutes, but 4-3, even if he gets 20 minutes on this slate, I'm fine with that. I like for the Spurs, Jakob Poeltl is always my favorite Spur. Yes, there is definitely some bias in that because every time I recommend him, he absolutely crushes, but he's played 34 minutes the past 2 games, over 35 DK points. He's just a good basketball player when he plays, gets rebounds. He has double upside. I mean, I'm fine picking on Wendell Carter or Mo Bamba down low. So I like him. And then DeRozan's playing very good basketball as of late too. I mean, 7,800, nobody on the Magic should stop him. If the game stays close, I do think some of the Spurs can get there. But Jakob Poeltl and DeRozan would be my 2 favorite. Mo Bamba on DraftKings. FanDuel, I don't think I want to use the one spot, center spot on him at 5,200 though.
Yeah, the back-to-back for the Spurs too, right? We're always worried a little bit about Pop on the back-to-back. They played last night, right? Yeah, DeRozan crushed.
Yep. Yeah, that's a fair point. He played 34 minutes. He played 36 the night before. Yeah, definitely a little concerning. If it is a blowout, then you don't want pieces of this game. If it stays close, I mean, they're still trying to win. So I think you play it that way. Maybe run it back if you play a Spur.
Cool. All right, let's head into – so the Nets, Timberwolves were supposed to be on the slate that game. got postponed. Unfortunate, because there's a lot of Nets guys that were looking to be primed for good value without Durant or without Harden and Kyrie, but games off the slate. We don't need to talk about that one. We have the Kings, Pelicans, big total, 236.5. Pelicans favored by 1.5 in this game. On the Kings side, I mean, you can definitely consider De'Aaron Fox. I think he's in play. The rest of the guys, though, I'm not really loving the price tags here. I mean, they're all pretty elevated. I mean, you can count on Harrison Barnes to play right around 40 minutes and get about 24 fantasy points. So if that's what you're looking for, fire him up. But the only guy I'm really considering on the Kings side would be De'Aaron Fox. The price is up there, though, 9.5K on FanDuel, 9.3 on DK, but he's been very productive, playing a ton of minutes, at least 37 in 4 straight games. He's been over 43 fantasy points in all of those games. So he's been playing a lot of minutes, and the production has been pretty solid. On the Pelican side, the prices are coming up. Zion is 10K on FanDuel, 9.7K on DK, but he's been playing really well. Finally starting to see that ceiling. 68 fantasy points, 57 in his last 2. The minutes are very stable. Brandon Ingram, better play on FanDuel at 8K versus the 8.5 price tag. Really want to see who starts. If it's this Najee Marshall, he's only 3.4K on DK, and he was very productive in his last game. And then James Johnson playing a lot of minutes off the bench, 32 minutes in his last 2 games. And he's a guy that, as long as he's out there, he typically produces much better price tag on FanDuel, 4.9K. Go to you first, Title. Thoughts here on this Kings Pelicans game?
Yeah, this is one of the best games on the slate. And if you're looking at it, and Big T is talking about backloading, fading the first 3. I mean, first 3 are 218.5, 205.5, 217.5 totals. Then you get 236.5, 234.5, 228.5, 228.5, 226.5. So these later games are way better for sure. And you never know what news hits even more, or what news is even going to hit, even if it's not on the injury report. So I definitely like that idea. I really like this game in general. Yeah, on DraftKings, Najee Marshall, if he gets the start, 3.4K, it'd be hard not to play him. Got 31 minutes yesterday, played well. Love going back there. I like De'Aaron Fox on both sides. I'm not going to say that he's like a guaranteed 50 floor like Mangone's saying, but hey, De'Aaron Fox is playing well. It's a good slate. Point guard's not the best. I like Fox. Tyrese Halliburton hasn't played well as of late, but I think he's going to be low owned and overlooked. Especially, I mean, FanDuel has a good price at 5,700. Ingles and Mitchell are definitely going to be the chalk later. I think he makes for a nice pivot. 6,100, a little more expensive on DraftKings, but he'll be very low owned. Then, yeah, Zion I like on both sides. I like Brandon Ingram on FanDuel, where he is 8,000 and small forward isn't very good. 8,500 on DraftKings. It's getting a little too steep for me. I'd rather go Zion. He's definitely the alpha in that offense. Harrison Barnes, like you said, no thank you in tournaments, cash games, I guess, but yeah, he's always out there. He doesn't really do much. Other than that, I'm gonna stick with mainly the Zion. Oh, James Johnson, like you said on FanDuel, he's just a good basketball player. He still has a lot left in the tank. 4,900 rebounds, gets assists, steals, scores the ball. 4,900 is a very good price tag. So a lot of good stuff. I'll rank them. James Johnson on FanDuel is my favorite. Najee Marshall on DraftKings if he starts. Then I like Zion and De'Aaron Fox as the spend ups in this game. So it's a good game to target, highest total on the slate.
I mean, phenomenal breakdown. I mean, Big T, I mean, there's not much left for you to say. I mean, what do you got for us? I mean, Title just dominated that one.
Yeah, I mean, I like the point the best. If you wait, like we might, and who knows what news we'll get.
Yeah.
With a month left, you just don't know. Like by waiting for these late games, you're going to fall into some nights where we get just crazy news. Like, who knows? This is not going to happen. Jokic isn't going to sit, but stuff like that happens. Like Jokic sits or something, and then the whole slate's freaking open, and you got spots left where things can change. But if you need to play guys, these guys are fine. And I agree with Title's breakdown. This Marshall dude just played 31 minutes. I mean, he's played the key is he's played 22 or more minutes in 6 straight games, which is what I look for in my cheap guys. A little bit of consistency there. I mean, he's had some bad games too, but he's got a 34, a 25, 26, 22. I mean, that's what I want in my cheap guy. So you can definitely go there. I mean, Zion. he's the closest thing to Shaq that we've seen in our lifetime. Title's too young to even enjoy Shaq, but me and Hoop, that was our peak right there in like high school with Shaq just crushing. Zion is the closest thing to, I mean, he is just, what are you going to do with that man? He is a grown-ass man, like Title likes to say. He's got to be over 3 bells. I mean, he is thick, and you are not stopping that dude. And he finally realized it, I think. He finally realized there's not a single dude in this league or in this world that's going to be able to stop him on that court, just like Shaq realized. I mean, he's obviously way smaller than Shaq, but he's a monster like Shaq. He's a beast, and you're going to have to consider him every single slate now that he knows that. So
watching him just like move on the court, like his second jump is insane and looking how big he is, like it's insane. And that's the offensive rebounds, putbacks, and DFS. He gets like 4 of them a game. And that's just because he can get off the floor faster than anyone. He's finally realizing, like I think you said, I mean, he's a scary man.
No, with that, like he's just too. Even for like the biggest dudes, he's too big for him. Like, he's grown, just a freaking grown man for sure. And Fox too. I mean, Fox, great play. You can run him. Sacramento, I get way more worried than New Orleans though. These guys just, man, I just hate. I feel like whenever I play like Buddy, he sucks. Whenever I play Barnes, he sucks. I just have bad mojo with Sacramento. Halliburton, I've played a ton. I feel like Halliburton hasn't done anything in so long. His price really hasn't adjusted either. Like, he's not – what is he on FanDuel? He's 61 on DK.
57.
Like, I don't think it's cheap enough for me to play. He just hasn't shown it. I do like him as a player, but, man, this Sacramento team's been frustrating. So I'll probably stick with the New Orleans side besides Fox and Zion. I mean, if you start your teams with Fox and Zion, you're in good shape.
Yeah, I do like that pairing in tournaments. I mean, they'll both individually have some ownership, but pairing them up, I think, is a good move. Close spread here, 1.5. And by the way, did the bet show earlier with our boy Spread. Hoops lock of the night. I'm going to give it away to you guys here. The lock of the night, the Pelicans. Pelicans -1.5. It was 2 earlier. Love the Pelicans to win in this game. I mean, for the reasons that we've talked about here. Zion, he realizes now people cannot slow him down. This is like the best possible spot for him to just absolutely dominate. Who's going to guard him? Like, who's he going to be? Is he going to be matched up with Harrison Barnes?
No.
Holmes maybe, but then Steven Adams. Yeah, I do not.
They
know
have Steven Adams. Like, he's going to crush whoever it is. Like,
I mean, he is going to own this team. Kings suck. Pels aren't great either, but Pels are going to win this game by quite a bit. I like the Pels. All right, let's move on to the next game. How many times is
Twitter am I going to see this freaking Kawhi Leonard out news? Like, I'm so tired of seeing news for tomorrow, especially because I don't ever, like, look that far ahead, as you guys know. I like to do the NBA on the fly here. When I see shit like that, I instantly like, okay, where's the Clippers? And then they just keep showing it, and they're not even on the damn slate.
Yeah. And now with MLB lineups coming in all the time, too, it is the worst. I wish there was a way to just say nothing for tomorrow news, but
it hurts. It's hurtful when you start seeing that news for the next day. It really is. I mean,
they got AP in the Discord yesterday too. He kept posting the news. It was the same news. It was for tomorrow. They got him.
Mike Conley. That was good. Alec was like, get him out of Discord because people kick them out. False news.
Good timing for the Conley news. The Wizards Jazz 235 total. Jazz favored by 11. Important news in this game: no Mike Conley, no Jordan Clarkson. That means we're going to be targeting some Jazz guys today, and one of the better matchups in basketball against the Wizards: Donovan Mitchell, Ingles, Bogdanovich, O'Neal. I guess we'll throw Rudy Gobert in there, although I think he is the last guy on that list that gets a boost with those other dudes out. On the Wizards side, I love Russell Westbrook in tournaments tonight. I don't think anyone's going to be playing him. We're going to be loading up on Jazz. Why not take a guy that if this game does stay close, he's the one that most of the production is going to come from? Give me Russell Westbrook in tournaments. I don't think many people are going to be on him because of the matchup here with the Jazz. But, this one's pretty cut and dry. You're going to want some Jazz in your lineups tonight. Mitchell will be very popular. Ingles will be very popular. Bogdan, O'Neal a little bit, Gobert a little bit, but it's a tough spot to avoid. We'll go to you, Big T. Thoughts here on this Wizards Jazz game?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the spot for me. Obviously, everyone sees it, but these are the spots I just go overweight on, and I've done it all year. and I still end up unique almost always because of the way I build my teams. But I don't see a way around it. They're playing Washington. You got your two usage guys that I want to play. My two favorite guys on Utah are Mitchell and Ingles. And now you get Clarkson and Conley out. So I get my two favorite guys in the position where they need to create the offense. And even these auxiliary pieces like Bojan, Royce O'Neal, even Gorgie Niang, or however you pronounce the dude's name. I mean, that dude's a hooper from Iowa State. I mean, he's good, and he's 3,100. He's going to have to play. I mean, he's got to be their sixth man tonight or seventh. I mean, he's right in that kind of fringe range of getting some minutes against Washington. Like, you want to talk about a sneaky play tonight, this dude could crush at 31. Not to mention if it somehow blows out. If it blows out and he plays the last quarter or something, I mean, he could crush at a low ownership. It's actually got him he's actually projected higher owned than I thought. I didn't think he'd be owned at all, but I still don't think he'll be that high owned. I don't see how he could, but these guys are just incredible plays.
I don't think he'll have high ownership.
Yeah. I don't see how he possibly could. I usually have a decent feel for that. And then, like you said, Westbrook, I mean, he's going to crush. He just keeps –
got his legs back. His legs are back.
His legs are back. I mean, you got to take advantage of the freaking legs. The legs are back. I mean, the other night he had a bad game, played only 33 minutes against Chris Paul and Booker defense. I mean, Phoenix is a good defense. He still gets 56. The dude is a machine. And I think they hang around in this game too. They're 11-point dog. I think they can hang around. The matchup is better than people think against Utah without a couple guys. Conley's a really good defender. Losing Conley, get him out of there. That hurts the D. Sign me up. I mean, I'm just going to go way over on this game. And I'll tell you who, Mitchell, man, we've been on it. We do these shows 5 days a week. So I keep saying it, but even in these blowout spots, this dude just goes ham. Again, the other night, just full ham, only 57, but it felt like he was ice cold in the beginning. I think he had 15 at halftime or 20 at halftime or something. He was struggling early. He still gets to 57. Dude's going to crush tonight. I don't know how you don't. I know they're chalky. They're going to be chalky, but that's what NBA is. Play a low-owned guy somewhere else. I don't know how you don't play Mitchell and Ingles every single team.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously going to be owned, but like you said, there's going to be some people that try to get cute with it. I mean, these are the spots that I think we've nailed all season long that don't get cute spots, and to me, this is one of them. Title, I'm assuming you're on the same page as us here.
Yeah, Utah's definitely hard to avoid, especially in cash. And it's not even like they're playing the Knicks, like you guys were saying. They're playing Washington. I mean, that's the nut spot. They play fast. It's going to be up and down. Very hard to annoy or ignore them. Ingles, Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, Donovan Mitchell, Gobert. Yeah, they're all going to get ownership. I do like that Niang call for sure at 3,100 on DraftKings. FanDuel, you don't need to play him. But, yeah, he's 3,100. He is a solid player out of Iowa State. He can shoot the ball. He is blowout run you think he'll still get. So 3,100, if you that'll get you up to Westy. That'll get you the Fox and Zion tandem. So definitely like that call. Derek Favors is 3,300. I'll mention him just because he's going to be very low owned, but I mean, he's not even playing 20 minutes. He's only center eligible. So he's going to be low owned though. And they don't have a lot of bodies. If anyone is going to be below 10,
actual king dust ball, like him and Marc Gasol are like this right next to each other, just king dust balls.
Yeah, 3,300 though. I had to mention him.
I'd take Favors over Gasol.
Me too.
I don't know if I would. I might take Gasol. Gasol just put a 50 piece up the other day.
Yeah,
I didn't see
Favors
that
doesn't have no 50 piece in him.
Yeah, I mean, I had to check the calendar when I saw that stat line. Yeah, for sure. And then for Westbrook, yeah, you can always play him. Definitely been on the wrong side of that train more than not. I do like the Zion and Fox pairing today in tournaments more than I would rather go all the way up to Westbrook with the pricing and stuff. So
Westbrook is going to be so low owned, like for Westbrook. Like I think
13%, 15%.
10%. Yeah. His price is tough. I mean, he's 11K. That's up there on this slate against Utah.
Yeah. No, I don't think he's going to be high. Yeah, it's definitely a low-owned tournament play. I just like the Fox, Zion, get the game stack going stuff, but definitely can play Westbrook. We know that. Otherwise, no Washington.
I'm giving out a ton of winners on this show. Just for free, Run Pure Bets. Hoop, what's that code? $20. $20 gets you what's the thing?
Get Bets gets you the bets portion of the monthly package for free. So if you do a DFS and bets combo pack, the bets portion is free for the first month.
I'm going to give a free winner tonight in honor of that, and it's going to be a good one because we're going to take Washington, and we're going to take it. I'm going to find this line real quick because I'm going to bet it right now. On the money line. I'm
going to blindly join you. So let's
I don't even want them. I don't even want the 11 points. That's how much I think they can hang with them. We're going to take a price here. You can get plus 450. Plus 450. Like, there's no way they should be plus 450 without those two dudes in there. Westbrook and Beal, they're going to win this game outright tonight at plus 450. That it's not often you can give out a plus 450 that you think can win.
Let's go. Love it.
I'm on.
I love it.
Feels good.
Yeah, I like the Westbrook call though too. I think it's a very, very, very strong play today. Anything else here? Title? Anything else? We're good to go.
No Wizards. It would only be Westbrook, and then all the Utah. You guys nailed it.
Ingles isn't small forward on FanDuel. What is he?
Shooting guard.
God, how is he not a small forward? That's literally his position.
Yeah. No,
he's a small forward. How's a freaking small forward not a small forward?
The Mitchell Ingles pairing on FanDuel will be like 100%.
Yeah.
It is stupid. Makes it hard to play.
You have to play it. What's their price on FanDuel?
$9K and 5.5. 9K and 5.5. It's tough not to play.
They're making fun of me for saying Hoop. Hoop's the money man. He knows how to do the codes and ask him what's going on with it. I didn't remember what
we have defined roles at Run Pure Sports, and that thing falls in my category. After us, JSU Holden taking you guys up to lock, addressing any of the news and notes of the slate. They will have you covered. That's part of the premium product at Run Pure Sports. So head on over there, runpuresports.com. We also have a podcast. If you haven't checked it out, it's on Apple, Google Play, all the podcast streaming places. DC Draft Sheet has a guest every single day. They break down the MLB slate, first look type thing. So head on over there and check that out. All right. 3 more games. We need way more likes. So we're at 248. We have about 700 people watching. Please hit that like button. Bulls, Grizzlies, 228.5 total. Memphis favored by 2.5. And, it is a nice total. It is a close spread. I don't have a ton of interest in this game. The one interesting part about this one is Zach LaVine has just been going off 57, 69, 51. That happened right after a show where BigT and myself both said that Zach LaVine doesn't have much upside, jammed it right in our face and went off for 3 straight games of at least 51 fantasy points. Vucevic at 9.1K, I think is an okay play, but center's actually pretty deep today. I doubt I will get there. On the Grizzlies side, the one guy I do like quite a bit, Ja Morant, seems to just be running hot and cold throughout his career. He gets on these hot streaks, gets on these cold streaks. He's been playing well lately, mostly because of the minutes. Like they jerked around his minutes for a while. Now they kind of stabilized 31, 38, 35 minutes. Production 36, 42, 37 fantasy points. I think he's a strong play. 6.8K on DK stands out. He is 7-1 on FanDuel. I think that is a good price tag too. Valanciunas, I think he's a good play as well. But I mean, wow, pull up this game log. Holy, he's been playing really well. 60, 70 burger last time out, 50, 42.
I loved him yesterday.
Huh?
Yeah.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
He smashed.
Yeah, he's been absolutely going off. So, I think he's a strong play as well. So it'd really be Morant and Valanciunas would be my 2 favorites. LaVine, Vucevic, maybe for tournaments. We'll go to you, Title. Thoughts here?
Yeah, this is a pretty solid game. I am a little worried on the back-to-back with Joe Val. I'm not going to probably go there. If anything in tournaments, I'd rather go to the really low-owned pivot in Brandon Clark at 4.3K. JSU and I talked about him on the show yesterday and stuff. He's lost a lot of minutes. He's only playing around 20 and stuff. He does have the upside. We have seen Joe Val get in foul trouble in matchups. He definitely could get in foul trouble against Vooch today. So Brandon Clark, he is power forward eligible as well on DraftKings, which is really big. I like him as a low-owned pivot than going to Joe Val. I'm not going to go back and chase that game because center is a pretty good position. Daniel Tice is 3.3K on DraftKings, though. He is only center eligible, but he played 26 minutes yesterday. They weren't afraid, or he did play and share time with Vooch on the court, which is really important. I think he closed the game yesterday too. 3.3K in this matchup is way too cheap. So I like Daniel Tice. John Morant, I like on both sides for the price. He's just in the 7-1, 6-8. I'm fine going there. His minutes have came up. Zach LaVine, yeah, he's really turned it on. I mean, we talked about it yesterday too. Great basketball player. DFS, the peripheral stats have always been a concern with him. He's now starting to handle the ball more and get it. 8-7 on both sides. I like him way more on DraftKings because D. Mitch and Ingles are shooting guard eligible on FanDuel. If you want to pivot from D. Mitch, Ingles is probably the one, but it's pretty hard to do. Solid game. I'm going to have some pieces. Daniel Tice, Morant, Brandon Clark, low own, Levine. But it's not a game I'm going to load up on because some of the other spots.
Big T, what do you got here?
Yeah, I mean, first, the dude in the chat says Hoop loves him some Morant, and that is true. Hoop for
That is true.
He does.
That is definitely his boy. He always gets in there on Ja.
Morant's been the 4X play, I think.
After the year that says your favorite dudes. Like, if we did a show email, he would be way at the top of the totem pole for Hoop. That's always his guy.
He's got. Hey, I think part of it is I think he was the first ever 4X play of the day, and he smashed.
Good mojo. You got to stick with the good mojo.
Got to stick with him. He treated me well. I feel like I got to mention him, or I can't turn my back on him.
Exactly. I support it. Anybody that comes through for me, they're always on my team for life.
Yeah.
Like those 6 golfers that got it done for me. Doesn't matter what they do the rest of their careers. They could miss every cut. They still got a warm spot in my heart. But I mean, Levine, the dude is flat out chucking it. 28, 31. I seriously wonder if they brought him in, because we said this a week ago. We'll take that out because he's been dominant since then. But I seriously wonder if they had a meeting behind closed doors and just the coaching staff just came and said, dude, we want to get to the playoffs. We want to make a run. You got to be more aggressive. Get back to just dominating that ball. Because he came out and was a new person the last couple of games, just chucking the ball. That's what we need from him. He's a volume scorer. He needs the volume. He's not going to be good if he shoots the ball 12 times. That's not his game. He's not he's not a Jokic type that's gonna just dominate.
Not a facilitator. He needs to be shooting the basketball.
And he's crushed. So he's definitely in play. John Morant, I made fun of it, but the price is good, 6,800. Joe Val, I like Joe Val, but I agree with Title again. I'm agreeing with Title too much this show. I got to disagree with something, but when he's right, he's right. I give him credit. The back-to-back with the big Whitey, I'm not on board most times with the back-to-back with the big Whitey. He had a big game yesterday. Vooch is decent matchup for him too, where he's not going to go in and just dominate Vooch. Vooch he's not the best defender in the world, but he matches up good with Joe Val. So just the 2 guards for me. I tried to make Brandon Clark work yesterday. I'm just frustrated with his minutes. I'm trying to stop playing these guys that only are going to play 23 minutes no matter what. If he gets really lucky, maybe 25. I just freaking hate it. I want some upside. Play this dude some minutes. You don't need to play some of these scrubs minutes. Play Brandon Clark 30 minutes. Why are you not? It's just frustrating. So I'll probably stay away from him, but I like the 2 guards the most here.
Yeah, I agree. There's the decisions that some of the teams make and the minutes they give guys to just does not add up, and it's definitely frustrating. I do like that Tice call, though, Title. That's
It's just that damn center spot again, though. Man, why can't he be power forward? There's only so many centers.
Center's loaded.
Yeah, center is a very, very deep position tonight.
If he was a power forward, I think he'd be a lock at that price. Yeah. It just shows you roster construction. He has a floor, too. He could definitely get you 8 one of these games.
Yeah. All right. 2 more games. We got the Rockets. We have the Suns, 229 total. Phoenix favored by 11.5 in this game. The Suns, we've kind of had the same take on these guys all season long. Just not a great team for DFS purposes, and they're now kind of fully healthy. It makes it even more difficult. I am going to mention my boy, though, because Big T's made fun of me a lot throughout the season about playing him. DeAndre Ayton, finally starting to see his stride here a little bit. We got 46, 45, 40, or 36 fantasy points. A couple of those games, the minutes have been up at least 32 minutes in 3 out of 4 of those games. 6.9K. I don't think he is the worst play on the slate. More of the last guy in, and not a building block, trust me. And it is at center where center's loaded, so it does make it a little more difficult, but I don't hate Ayton. On the Rockets side, the only one I'm really considering would be Christian Wood on FanDuel. He's 7.4K. It's a nice price tag for him over there. Power forward is not very deep. So that's about it for me in this game. We'll go to you first, Title. Thoughts here on the Rockets Suns game?
Yeah, I agree with you. Christian Wood on FanDuel 7.4. He would only be a cash play for me, though. I've watched more of this Houston team recently than I would normally. I don't know why, but these guys just keep anyone that touches the ball in the Rockets, one pass and they'll just chuck it. The offense isn't running through Christian Wood at all, which is very unfortunate, but it's really limiting his upside. He needs to get rebounds and putbacks for himself. Cash play 7.4 on FanDuel, I agree. Tournaments, it's definitely would not be for me. Reminds me, I put him in the Ben Simmons category right now there. Mikal Bridges, small forward, isn't very good. If you need it at 5'6", I'm fine as a last piece. Dario Saric and Ayton. The thing is, I like the prices on DraftKings, but we're back to the center only position where I'd rather go Daniel Theis. I'd rather go Drummond, stuff like that. So mainly a stay away game for me, maybe a last piece here or there. If you land there, but yeah, not the best game for me.
Big T, I mean, you've kind of had the same opinion as I have on the Suns all season long, just not a great team for DFS purposes. Like me, I don't think you've played these guys all that much. And then on the Rockets side, again, it's not the greatest spot here against the Suns, makes it very difficult for DFS purposes. Anything that stands out to you in this game?
No, I mean, late game, standard fade for me. I really don't even see anyone I would consider. I'm trying to stay away from these freaking Houston guys. I keep getting suckered into Wood on FanDuel. I keep playing him on FanDuel because of that price, and he just hasn't – he's killed me way more nights than I've been happy to play. I got to stay away from these teams. The last month, there's way too much just up and down with them. I don't really see the ceiling there. So I'm going to stay clear, especially with it being the late game. I'm going to do my best just to play the plays I'm super confident in. And man, I don't want to play these Houston guys. Phoenix is going to crush them. Yeah. Keep me away from this game.
Yeah, I'm with you. Last game on the slate, we have the Nuggets, we have the Warriors, 226.5 total. Denver favored by 4.5. Jamal Murray is questionable for this game. Not going to have the news. Let's see. This is a 10 p.m. Eastern game, so we most likely will not have the news on him at lock. On the Warrior side, no Kelly Oubre. Kent Bazemore started for him, played 32 minutes, and was very productive with 30 fantasy points. He'll be popular tonight, but a strong value option for sure. I really like Jokic at his price tag, especially on DK, but we're back to that center position. Center's loaded, but 10.4 for him, I think, is an absolute steal in this game. If the spread's right, and this is a 4.5 point spread, and the game's going to be close, like Jokic should just absolutely go off in this spot. And then if Murray sits, you get that boost as well. Either way, really like him. Like Michael Porter Jr. I mean, I kind of mentioned him on the last show we did. He just continues to be super productive and playing a lot of minutes. So I think he's an interesting play tonight. On the Warriors side, like I said, Bazemore is definitely a strong option. Steph Curry, probably more so in tournaments. Maybe Andrew Wiggins. I mean, the minutes should be stabilized, and he's actually been pretty productive as of late. I think there's a lot of ways you can go in this game. Title, will go to you. Thoughts here on this Nuggets Warriors game?
Yeah, so Kent Bazemore, I expect him to get the start. Oubre's out. I definitely like going to him. When he plays and gets the minutes, he's a good fantasy point producer. Close spread. I like going right there. Like you said with Jokic, I definitely like Jokic in this matchup, close spread in that. You're back at that center position. I mean, if you're watching the show today, it's probably a 2-center lineup night. It sounds like for most of us. There's so many good plays on DraftKings. Yeah, I love center. Jokic is absolutely in a great spot. Right now, I think I'd rather go with some of the value more and go up to the Zion and Fox route in tournaments. That's my lean, but Jokic, great play in all formats. Looney on both sides, center eligible. I think he's going to get the start too. 3,400 on DraftKings, 3,700, I believe, on FanDuel. Again, a guy that's going to get a lot of minutes, but center eligible, like we're talking about. Other than that, I don't have too much interest in this game. You can go Juan Toscano Anderson or Damian Lee, that stuff. I'm just not going to guess with it. We have Utah. We have other games that we talked about that we like more. So I'm mainly going to avoid this game outside of Bazemore and then Jokic if I get there.
Yeah, Porzingis ruled out. Title, let me get your thoughts on that real quick before Big T talks about this last game.
Yeah, so now Luka, as bad as he's been, I mean, he gets a very big usage bump. He's going to be the man. Point guard isn't even very good anyway. So Luka is definitely one of my favorite spend ups now. And then we don't have starting lineup I'm seeing right now. JJ Redick is available to make Mavs debut, I see. So that's a bump down to guys like Hardaway and Richardson, stuff like that. Just another body in the rotation. If Powell gets the start or Boban or something like that. I mean, Boban gets the start. You always want to play Boban, but just going to be looking for starting lineups. Luka, definitely the biggest bump.
Yep. 700 people watching, about 280 likes. That's not going to do it. So please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps us to bring you guys these shows for free. Need to do some work on those likes. So pound that like button while Big T talks about the Porzingis news and then the Warriors and Lakers game.
Yeah, so I mean the Nuggets, it was a Sunday and Masters was going on, other stuff. I doubt many people watched that early game, but they had a colossal collapse in the fourth quarter. They were up like 15. Boston went on a 31-3 run where Jokic didn't get some calls. Somehow I watched it. I don't know how I was even watching it because it wasn't on the slate. It was in the afternoon. I had it on one of the other TVs. Jokic was complaining about calls. It was just one of those games where they literally just fell apart. And 31-3 run in the fourth quarter with Boston. They only scored 8 in the fourth, Denver. Total collapse after they've been playing great. I think they bounced back in a big way tonight against Golden State after that stinker. Come back in. I mean, the spread's only 4.5. I mean, I think they win by 20 tonight. I never say Denver's going to blow them out either, but tonight, off that total stinker yesterday, I mean, just a total embarrassment. And I think they bounced back, which means Jokic and Porter absolutely love it. And I think Jamal sits again. Again, there's no reason to rush him back. It is what it is. So they're out. I go there. Golden State, I think they get blown out. So I'm probably not going to play any Golden State guys.
Then thoughts on Porzingis being out.
I mean, I still don't think I'll play Luka. I just don't see it. But
I think where he is more interesting on, I mean, I think he is in play on DK, but on FanDuel, point guard's not all that deep, and he's only 10.2K. Would you have more interest there?
FanDuel, I just don't really want to play Luka. It's the difference between tournaments and cash, though. You guys are looking more for floor and safety, and I get it. I have a really hard time playing him over some of these other guys, like even Jokic, for example, and these guys. I'm not saying I won't because I haven't built the team yet. Maybe it fits with the roster construction. Definitely will have some Luka. I just, off the top of my head, I definitely don't like him as much as other people will.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he really, I rattled off the numbers. He has not had a good fantasy game. Over 50 fantasy points in like 8 to 10 games. And there's spots where Porzingis was out there too.
At least a few of those, right? Had to be Porzingis sit spots.
Yeah. Just hasn't been great. So we'll see. But like I said, probably more interesting on FanDuel opposed to DraftKings. All right. Now we move on to our plays of the day. The first one is title with is it still the SO? Are we sticking with that? No change?
It's what it's been so far. Yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure I
worked out.
Want to make sure you didn't want to file for a change. So we're sticking with it. So the SO play of the day, who do you got for us?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a shock to probably everyone since I've been off the Spurs most of the time in this not Jakob Poeltl day. I'm going DeMar DeRozan at 7,900 on DraftKings, 7,800 on FanDuel, which is tougher, but I think he is a good pivot off of Donovan Mitchell. He's playing better basketball. I wanted to pick a center, but there's just so many of them. I like DeMar DeRozan below 8K. I think he has a 50+ point upside in this matchup, and he's not going to break the bank either. So give me DeMar DeRozan. First time and probably last time I'll say it all year too. Falik, I hope the charts say it's a good spot for him today.
See if the charts give DeRozan the approval. Good play. I mean, I don't hate that. Ownership should be very, very low. I'm deciding between two guys right now. I'm trying to think.
Oh, 2-point job. Go back to Old Faithful.
Huh?
Get him back in the mix.
He's actually going to be owned today, though, so I can't. He's going to be too highly owned. I can't go to him. All right, I'm going to go. Yeah, screw it. I'm going with this. I mean, the guy will be owned, but not as much as he should be for the 4X play of the day. So the official 4X play of the day is going to be Russell Westbrook. Ownership is going to come in way lower than it's been recently. We're playing Jazz guys as is. This game stays close, which I agree with Big T. I think it does stay close. I love Russell Westbrook in this spot. Give me Westbrook as the 4X play of the day. All right, last play is Big T with the Monday night Workbench play of the day. Who do you got for us?
Yeah, I mean, I like Westbrook too. I was thinking about going Westbrook, and he swooped. It's a tough night for the bench because I like these Utah guys.
Tough night for the bench.
It's a tough night. I hate the nights where I like some of the chalkier guys where I guess the one guy I can go with is my boy Niang, because it says he's higher owned than he is. I mean, 3,100, he can't be that high owned, especially on Utah where everyone's going to play Mitchell and Ingles and probably even one more Utah guy. I doubt people go to the fourth one being Niang, but either way, I don't really have anyone else. The other one that I could throw, actually, I might go there. I might flip it up midstream here because I don't know if Niang has crazy upside is the only issue. It's not a true workbench. I am going to flip it up right now, and I don't know. I can't guarantee he's going to be on my team. It's one of those because I haven't built the team. But Michael Porter Jr., I'm going back to that 7K.
Oh, that was my second guy.
Yeah,
let's go.
Coming off the stinker yesterday, he's been really good. He looks like a stud. I'm going with him. I mean, I haven't built a team, so I hate when I give a bench play that might not end up on my team. But either way, if you play him tonight, I promise you he's got upside. I promise you he could win the slate, and he's the workbench play of the day.
I love that. Yeah, that was my second guy. I mean, good things typically happen when Big T and Hoop are on the same page. So it's going to be a good night. I think we're going to ship them giblets, get to the top of the leaderboard. It's going to be a good night for Run Pure Sports. So I definitely am on board with that play. But that is going to do it for us. We have JSU and Holden taking you guys up to lock. Head on over to runpuresports.com to check it out. We're going to get on out of here. For TitleTown, for Big T, I'm Hoop. Good luck tonight in your contest.
Good luck, everybody.